so happy for you. I'm just so happy for you. 'Cause this is all about you.
Good morning, Rachel.
It's not about me.
Hi, good morning.
Where the movie Angry Birds 2 will be opening tomorrow afternoon. Gotta say,
Yes,
we're incredibly excited.
It opens today.
In many
But I
places.
think that maybe it opens near where you are tomorrow afternoon, but it technically opens today.
Yeah, many places are getting it today. We get it tomorrow, but we're so excited to see it because
Got
this
it.
cast is incredible.
Yeah. Oh, it's a lot of famous people.
I mean, you've got yourself and Jason Sudeikis and Josh Gad and Sterling K. Brown. What's it like to work on an animated movie?
Well, sometimes lonely. You record alone in a room, and you read with the director, and then you go home. And so it's not really until you do press or until the premiere that you meet the people that you're doing these very one-on-one, sometimes intimate scenes with.
That's fascinating. That's got to be a very strange way to work on a project.
Oh, yeah, because, I mean, what it really makes you do is marvel at the editors. Because you're just giving them line options. Sometimes you'll do lines in a row of three. You know, if a line is like, get out, you'll be like, get out, get out, get out, you know? And then it's up to them to put it in the movie. So and then they have to, if there are characters overlapping, they have to then reverse engineer that. And Josh Gad and I play brother and sister, and it wasn't until the premiere that I saw him in the context of this movie and I heard him go like, "Hey, Sid," it's really weird.
That is pretty fascinating. It's amazing. You and Josh Gad working together. That has to be. I mean, obviously you didn't get to work together specifically, but the two of you are such incredible talents. Working as brother and sister seems just appropriate for you two.
I know. I really want to work with him where I can actually see his face. He's an awesome guy. He was on the show The Comedians with Billy Crystal that my husband wrote on, and so my husband knows Josh, and he's a great human being. He's, as the Jews say, he's mishpacha. He feels like family.
We're talking with Rachel Bloom, and of course, many people know Rachel as the star of Crazy Ex-Girlfriend, probably my favorite show of all time. Just a massive fan.
You.
No joke.
Oh, that means thank you.
I absolutely adore this show, and the idea that you're going to take this show on the road sounds pretty fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, it's really my excuse to sing a lot of those songs because we did 157 original songs in the show. So it's a way for me to re-sing those songs and then try out some new material. So it'll be a lot of old stuff and then some new stuff. So I love performing live, and I love meeting fans of the show.
How long did it take for you to put together this show?
Well, it's kind of still a work in progress. I mean, the answer is like my whole life, just because the show's going to be changing as I'm performing it. The show is a way for me to start kicking my ass to do new material and workshopping new material. So it's not an entirely new show by any means.
How does it work? Like, are you telling a story in the show, or is it just kind of like, these are the songs that we did on the show and here's a few new ones to go with it?
No, I do songs with stand-up in between. So the songs kind of, even from the show, kind of take on a new life. I try to take them out of the context of the show and just set them up as I would set up any kind of comedy song.
That is is a pretty fascinating idea. I don't think anybody's ever done anything quite like this.
Yeah, it's what I've been doing for a bit. It's kind of a mix of a stand-up act and then like a cabaret act, if you will. But to me, comedy songs are just musical stand-up bits, so it flows very naturally for me.
We're talking with Rachel Bloom, and of course, I love Crazy Ex-Girlfriend. Do you have a story that you could tell us, just something that you remember from working on that show that really stands out for you?
Oh my God! I mean, I was on it for 4 years. I worked on it in total for about 6 years because I co-created the show. So I mean, God, what kind of story do you want?
I don't know. I mean, just anything. What about your favorite song? Is there a song that you're like, yes, this is one, I love this one. This was like one of my favorite song on the show.
Well, it's hard for me to do that, but I'll tell you something that you might enjoy.
All right.
So the prop crew that worked on Crazy Ex-Girlfriend was the same prop crew that worked on the show True Blood, and they shot mostly in Malibu. But one day when they were actually, I think, on set in Louisiana, they found a toad smashed in the middle of the road, like completely flat, and they decided to laminate the toad, put it on a lanyard, and then whenever someone messed up a shot, like their cell phone went off or someone broke a piece of equipment, they'd have to wear the toad, and they'd call it the Toad of Shame. And so the Toad of Shame then came to our set, if your cell phone went off, anything, you'd have to wear the toad, and then you'd get a picture, and there was a wall that was the Toad of Shame wall, and at the end of each season, the person who got the most toads would win an award.
I mean, that's got to be when you're doing long days of shooting like that. That type of entertainment for the cast and crew. That's got to be a big part of keeping everybody sane.
Oh, it's delightful. It's delightful because it was honestly like no one ever tried to get it, but it's a little reward for being incredibly embarrassed because you don't want to interrupt a shot. No one wants to do that. But it was always really funny. Oh,
well, Rachel Bloom, this has been an absolute delight for me. Like I said, Crazy Ex-Girlfriend are probably my favorite show. I've binge-watched it on Netflix a couple times. Thank you so much for joining us today. And, of course, looking forward to seeing Angry Birds 2. It's opening here in Kewanee, Illinois tomorrow afternoon, but it's nationwide for many people tonight.
Great.